today's episode of All Facts No Cap, we got comedian Roy Wood Jr., somebody I've been a big fan of for a long time. Roy, appreciate you coming on, man.
Man, I appreciate you for having me on your presentation.
All good. I know you ain't got a lot of time because you got your hour-long special. I'm going to go ahead and get into that in a little bit, so I'm going to go ahead and hit you right away. Talk to me about your journey into comedy, where it all started.
For me, when I was 19, I was at Florida A&M. And so, I don't know if you knew this or not, but when you like take clothes out of a store, like when you go to the mall, you take clothes out the store, right?
Uh-huh.
You're supposed to pay for them. I didn't know that.
I've heard a thing or two about that type of dynamic.
Well, apparently, if you want a free Uber ride from the police department, just take them clothes right out the store, and they're going to take you to a nice hotel that's got food, 3 meals. They even give you clothes. So yeah, I got arrested for stealing some jeans, man. And so, there was a bit of a period in my life where I felt like I had thrown things away. And so comedy was one of the things I started doing to deal with just, I try not to use the word depression because I just know I was very sad and I knew I had thrown things away. I know there are people that are in much darker places, so I try to be very careful about that word. But, thankfully the faculty and the staff at Florida A&M, my mom, I just had a tight network of people that always supported me, man. And so that was able to keep me on the good track, got my ass graduated, all of that, everything was straight. And I've been doing stand-up comedy ever since. But, as a kid, I always had that itch. I always felt like, maybe, am I good? Mm-hmm. Could I maybe do this? And then lo and behold, start doing the shit.
And speaking of which, where we all discover our calling at a certain age, also read about how back when you were at Florida A&M, you passed up your midterm exams to prepare for an opening of Tommy Davidson. Go ahead. Come on now. Talk to me a little bit about that. Come on now.
Here's the thing,
set the record
dog.
straight.
Here's the thing, dog. Like, you get certain, like, I feel like in our careers, we're given certain opportunities to say yes or no. Like, I feel like no matter what your career is, you get 2 to 3 opportunities a year to skip a level. And so this was a club I've been trying to get booked at forever and ever and ever. And then the next thing you know, I get a call from the booker and the dude is like, yeah, I need you here tonight. So-and-so canceled. Can you come here and open for Tommy Davidson? And yeah, it was the day of finals. It was the day of midterms. And I flunked that class. I ended up getting it incomplete, thankfully. So it didn't kill the GPA. But the funny thing about it, this is how oblivious I used to be to entertainment. I thought that the way entertainment works is that you open for someone that's super famous. And this was 1999, just for perspective. So Tommy Davidson is fresh off In Living Color. He's had his good run of movies. Yep. He's doing it. He's that dude. Man, I was supposed to open for Tommy Davidson for 2 days at the Charlotte Comedy Zone. I packed 2 weeks worth of clothes because I just knew Tommy Davidson was going to see me and take me back to Hollywood. That's how stupid I thought that you just see somebody famous and then you just go, come with me. Yeah. And now you're famous too. And that is not how it fucking works. At least. But it was a very good thing to be able to do. It got me in with that club and that chain of clubs. And, it did not get me in with Tommy Davidson, but it did get me in with that chain of clubs. And, and it's one of those risks where, I just feel like no matter what your dream is, it's going to cost you something.
Absolutely.
Sooner or later, it's going to cost you something. And it doesn't mean that price is fair, but on that particular day, the price was a semester of this one course.
Absolutely. I mean, I agree with you. I agree with you completely, man. Like sometimes opportunities, like you said, they only come around sometimes 2 or 3 times for a certain occupation, sometimes only once in a lifetime. So speaking on how you went ahead and forgoed that class, you got it incomplete. So not exactly like the failing grade and all that to just, tank your GPA. what do you feel is probably the biggest obstacle in this industry that is comedy?
I think the biggest obstacle that still remains within stand-up comedy is the comedian's ability to trust himself creatively and more importantly to evolve. I feel like, when you look at, it's very easy to do what is always familiar. It's very easy to always remain in that easy lane of just not changing your jokes, not like, for me, I look at the world and everything that's happening around us, and that's what I want to talk about. Well, the world is constantly changing, so you
Yes.
cannot fall into a creatively lazy pattern of just repetitious material or doing the same formulaic tic-tac, I call it tic-tac-toe jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you do this and then you do this and then there is a laugh.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoy things that challenge what we think or educate us on something different, and I'm not trying to be arrogant and think that every comedian is a philosopher. We all have different approaches to this shit. But, for me, if the joke doesn't inform you about who I am or how I feel about the world, then for me, it's not a good enough. It's just not good enough.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I like your answer on that because that actually leads me to my next question. So I would ask this: do you consider yourself a humorist or a comedian, or both? Or you can go ahead and give your distinction on
I feel like I'm a comedian. If anything, I'm closer to a journalist because I'm just reporting on how I feel.
it. I like that.
I'll be honest, I don't even know what a humorist is. Somebody put that shit on my Wikipedia one time, and I keep trying to take it off. And then, Wikipedia, you change something, somebody come behind you and change it back. You'd be
Oh
like,
yeah, I know
prove
that all
it.
too well.
Prove it. And I'm like, what do you mean prove it? Bitch, I'm me. I'm telling you I'm not a humorist.
Yeah, I get it. Trust me. I trust me. I'm with you 100%. I know about the whole Wikipedia fiasco, so I've had my own run-ins with it myself. Okay, let me ask this: favorite place to do stand-up?
Cleveland, Ohio.
Because
It is fun. It is, some of them people there are very frustrated. I feel like comedy works best in places where people know what it means to hustle and to grind. And Cleveland is
point.
blue collar as hell, man.
Yep.
And in 23 years of this business, bro, hands down, some of the best sets I've ever had in my life have been in that audience. The black people there love to laugh, and you can go anywhere. You can do it's the one city where you could do, as I like to call it, a doctorate level joke and then a hood joke. And both jokes will get laughed at by everybody.
Both
Every
land.
joke is both land with all demos, all ages, all races. I like that. Like it's the reason why comedy don't work good in Miami to me, or at least why I don't have a good time in Miami. Miami's too much fun. You be sitting down in Miami, all you be doing is looking outside at bikinis and blue skies.
Yeah. Good point.
Cleveland got gray skies and factory rust in the air. That's where you want to perform. Is this air gonna kill me? I don't know. Well, let's go laugh about it.
I see. Okay, so basically any city that's known for a lot of fun, like a Miami, or I'm assuming like a Los Angeles, or maybe a New York, those would probably be the toughest places to do your stand-up.
Yeah, but New York has its own appeal as well. I enjoy New York. I love San Francisco. Nashville and Austin, Texas, for that matter, to me.
That's my
Also,
hometown, ATX.
yeah, dude, that place is turning into a whole, I ain't got to tell you, like it's turning into a whole different free thought oasis
Oh yeah,
in the middle of Texas.
Yeah, definitely. They're trying to make it the new Silicon Valley in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
So trust me, I'm well with you on that one. All right, let me ask this: favorite sport and or favorite team?
Chicago Cubs baseball. If I could watch one team the rest of my life, it'd be the Cubs. That's probably the team that means the most to me.
Because
that's what I grew up watching. It takes me back to my childhood. I spent a lot of time watching Cub games growing up. I would come home from school and flip on the leadoff man with Steve Stone and Harry Carey. Baseball to me is the ultimate sport because it teaches patience. And to me, it's an allegory for life, in that you have an individual task to do. In baseball, in my opinion, in baseball, your success and failure more often than not is independent of other people, but your success or failures contribute to the group dynamics, success or failure. Wide
Yeah.
receiver still needs a good ball. Most basketball players still need somebody to pass it to them. Baseball, see it, hit it, catch it. It's really all you got to do. And so, like when you think of the job of a designated hitter, he just hits. He ain't really got no teammates.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Just go up there and hit. And if the ball is bad, wait. Be patient. Don't jump at everything. There's just so many analogies for real life within that to me. And I think that's probably why I love baseball the most. Is just, if nothing else, it taught me patience too. Standing out in that hot ass Alabama sun for 2 hours waiting and nothing get hit to you. Then the next day, it seemed like everything getting hit to you. High tide, low tide,
Trust me, I used to play outfield back in middle school. So yeah, so I know about how patient and how boring, but also still fun, methodical, strategic, and all that the game of baseball can be, man. So trust me, I'm right there with you. All right. Something I see, I'm not going to say a lot, but I've seen it out of certain comedians, whether it's on social media, things like that. Speak to me on what I've seen some say about what they feel may be the positives and also the negatives from now the onslaught of social media in our society, or what you feel it has done to the comedy industry, whether it's made it better, whether it's made it worse, whether it's watered it down. What are your thoughts on that?
I think that social media, we're still trying to understand social media in the sense of it being the same as television or the same as a linear TV product, when it's time to start looking at social media as its own separate medium that has its own different rules of what is funny and what is not. Social media is good for the eyeballs of people. It helps people, right? It helps people see things. It helps people give a shit about whatever. I'm trying to figure out a way to say this without being disrespectful to social media
trust me, I get
comedians,
it.
because I'm not.
Trust me, just spit it out and take your time. Trust me.
No, because I'm not trying to shit on them. What I'm saying is that what they do is for people that are in a different state of mind. That's why most people won't watch a 10-minute video on their phone. I'm doing something different. So if the goal is to make you laugh in 60 seconds or less, then that's a different type of writing. Performatively, it's different. If you look at a lot of the social media comedians that are popular, a lot of them are big performances. There's no space for nuance in a little bitty ass phone screen. Your face has to come through. Your body has to be more demonstrative. Like, those things have to come through. So it's not always the best place to have some sparse, smaller opinions on things. It's like, say, there's a lot of social media comedy that is good and does well and makes people a lot of money, but it's so quick. I almost liken it to a diner or a drive-in, and some people are coming on the internet and want a steak dinner. This ain't the place for steak dinners, dog. That's not what we doing over here right now. This is TikTok, dude. I got 6 seconds to make you chuckle. All right. So
Yeah.
if people are gravitating towards that instead of the steak dinner, and you a dude who only knows how to make steak, you got to evolve. And that goes back to what I was talking about before, is about cats being afraid of evolving. There is a way to do what you do within the constraints of what people want to see now. That is enough to bring them back to your steak restaurant. Set up little samplers, dog. Do something quicker that fits into who you are, but I just don't think that it's a bad thing that the youngins have figured out a way to make money for themselves, and in a lot of ways circumvent the shady ass entertainment Hollywood system.
I see.
I think that's part of it too. But no, I don't. It doesn't bother me. I know a lot of cats go, that ain't real comedy. That ain't no real jokes. You get on TV, you ain't got no jokes. You get on stage, you ain't got no motherfucker. I ain't on stage. I'm on the phone.
And
So then I go perform live and I suck. Yes, people aren't gonna come see me anymore, but I have enough faith in people that they will not cast out an entire genre of performance being stand-up comedy because they went to go see some YouTuber who wasn't prepared to do a live performance. I hope that when I come through their town, they'll still come get the steak dinner.
I love how I love how you worded all that. And I say this because obviously, like you just said, you got to go ahead and figure out ways to still be able to go ahead and evolve. Social media is an ever evolving type of mechanism, and it has its own rules, it has its own parameters. And you talked about how you got to be able to evolve. How deep in your career were you when you realize, okay, you know what? I can't just have the tic-tac-toe jokes. I can't be archaic. I got to go ahead and keep up with the times and be able to go ahead and learn, okay, you know what? Let me go ahead. Let me modify. Let me change with the times. Let me evolve. How deep in your career were you when you realized that?
I'd say mid-30s. It was right before I had my son. I started doing comedy at 19, so my early jokes was all about book buyback and people having bad breath in church, and that's why you don't want to share a church hymnal. So I started going to mega churches that put the lyrics up on the jumbotron, goofy stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And as you mature through this world, you start having different views and opinions on things. Why don't you? It's like, at what age did you stop watching Nickelodeon? No one really knows, but you stopped.
Yeah.
And that's not a knock on Nickelodeon. We all had our Nickelodeon years. Everybody, it's just you grow. So as your taste for what you consume change, so does my taste for what I find funny as a curator. So the same way you could watch a sillier sitcom in your 20s, Martin hit different in my 20s. And it's interesting because I go back and watch it now in my 40s and I find myself laughing at completely different parts of the show. Same thing with Married with Children. Oh my fucking God.
Yeah.
That show is aged so well, just in the sense of suburban white man just wanting a beer and not deal with like Al Bundy was anti-woke before anti-woke
Trust me, I get it. I know what you're saying. I grew up watching it.
So your palate changes. And so for me, it was somewhere around in my 30s where I was just like, you know what, man, I've done enough colleges. I don't want to do no jokes about Juvenile and Soldier Boy no more. Why these folks arguing about this Confederate flag? You know what, man? I like the Confederate flag. Keep that shit up so I know not to come to your gas station.
Hey, man.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Do not be no wolf in sheep clothing. Go ahead. Let me see them fangs out. Let me see the blood dripping from them. That way I know, stay the hell away from you. Hey,
exactly.
Me, I'm right there with you.
So I have more fun comedically now finding the angle that people don't necessarily. I like to swim upstream a little. You know what I'm saying? And so by swimming upstream creatively, it's more fun. I'm juggling dynamite. You go out in Times Square and you see two people juggling. One dude is juggling bowling balls. The other one's juggling chainsaws. Which one you gonna stop and watch?
Yeah, I'm probably I know I'm gonna look at the chainsaws because that just seems interesting to me. Like whether he succeeds or whether he fails, it seems like I'm gonna be able to get a scene either way.
Yeah, you're gonna get a show, whether win or lose or draw. We got a show.
All right, okay, Roy. I'm gonna go and get you out of here. I got one last question for you.
Okay.
A fellow comedian of yours, I just saw that he just put this up maybe about a couple hours ago. And, obviously in this world, as men, we all are taught to make something of ourselves, to go ahead and find a way to have a stabilized, good income. That way we can take care of our family, whether it's our wives, our girlfriends, mom and dad, what have you. And Lil Duval just posted something a little while ago. He said,
shout out to Duval, man.
He said that it's a lot of Russell Wilsons out here. Obviously, Russell Wilson, Sierra. Russell Wilson is like the consummate, he's like the consummate perfect man. So Lil Duval said that there's a lot of Russell Wilsons out here but you women are ignoring them because they're broke. or because they're not rich, whichever.
Then he ain't Russell Wilson. Yeah. It's not Russell Wilson. That is a Chad Henne. With all due respect to Chad Henne, you had a great run, and I love you. And only reason I bring you up is clearly because I was a fan at some point. But relationships, that's a whole nother.
I know. Trust me, Roy. I know. I just want to throw that in there. See your quick take on it. I know. Hey, I know we don't got much time. I know we don't got much more time. I just want to just see your take on it.
I do think it would be cool if broke dudes were given a chance, but let's also be real about this. Sierra wasn't with Russell Wilson at Wisconsin.
No, she was not.
Broke. That would be a better analogy. And when I see Duval, I'm gonna talk to him about that. Duval be setting them straight on his Twitter. Now you want to talk about somebody who be juggling chainsaws? Well, I like Duval because he'll say something, folks will get mad, he'll stand on it, and not delete the tweet.
Absolutely. Like he's like king gaslighter for like so many people, so many women, so many people on either side of the line. That's why, man, like I love like just hearing some of the inflammatory things that he says, because just to your point, he will stand on it and be like, okay, what you gonna do about it? I know you're mad. I know you're screaming at me, but like, what you gonna do about it?
I said what I said. Come see me live. Thank you very much.
All right, man, Roy, hey, I really appreciate this, man. I've always been a big fan of yours, so I am so grateful that you want to go ahead and stop through today. Once again, much love to you, much respect. Oh, and also, go ahead, real quick. Go ahead, tell us about the hour live.
The comedy special is Imperfect Messenger, and it is available on ComedyCentral.com. You can watch that starting November 14th. You can watch it for free. If you got a cable subscription, you can watch it right now. Yes.
Once again, Roy, I appreciate you coming on, man. Much love to you. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and check in on that. And man, much love to you, and good luck to you the rest of the way, man. Appreciate you.
All right. Thank you, brother.
All right. Be good.
Yes, sir.